Shit. Hey, y'all, give me the motherfucking chainsaw, blood. This motherfucking wolf is straight. What's up now, motherfucker? These niggas ain't bigger than me. These niggas ain't Nas, ain't Jigger than me. These niggas ain't M, they ain't 50 to me. You ain't Pun, you ain't Pop, you ain't Biggie to me. These niggas ain't Crips, they ain't 60s to me. These niggas ain't Bloods, they ain't dripping with me. Niggas talking that shit by the new generation, man. Fuck these niggas, I slash your fucking faces. You niggas ain't so shit, not an album or a rock. Pussy nigga putting rings on my old bitch. Dick down the throat ass niggas, old hoe ass niggas. Happy cause you went gold ass niggas. These niggas ain't spitting with me. You ain't sicker than me. Fuck out my section, you ain't sitting with me. This for very important people. It's clear that we not equal. Clear you niggas faggots. I'm the Black Marshall Matt. Like yin 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 on a motherfucker. Who needs Hulk Hogan when you got Sting on this motherfucker? Less than 5 albums, kiss the ring on this motherfucker. California throne and I'm the king on this motherfucker. I don't wanna hear it. Weak ass lyrics, crying on the hook, thinking we gon' feel it. Old lost ass niggas, voice crack when you talk ass nigga, rolling blunts for the boss ass niggas. I came in with Ye, Jeezy and boss ass niggas. Your freshman cover a whole bunch of soft ass niggas. Tampon lyricists evacuate the premises. Mute BET ciphers cause I don't wanna hear that shit. May you rest in piss, you fuck niggas. Hey Frank Ocean, go ahead, fuck these fuck niggas. Yeah, they fuck niggas. Ain't no 3 stacks in your class, so take your top 10 spot and shove it up your ass, bitch boy. Niggas already fucked your bitch, you bitch boy. And every time you kiss on that hoe, you suck my dick, you bitch boy. And when you buy that hoe a bag, that bitch carry my bricks, you bitch boy.
Man, what it do, what it do, what it do. It's your boy Sean P in the place to be. We're live on Science with Sean. I appreciate everybody tapping in. I want to run this thing back one more time for the copyright disclaimer. What we're going to do is we're going to review a live stream that is actually taking place right now. I don't think that it has ended, but we're going to start out. We're going to rewind it all the way back. We're going to rewind it all the way back, and we're going to deal with Happy Film. From what I'm understanding, that this brother was recommended by Baba Smalls. I don't know why he was recommended by Baba Smalls, but he was. So we want to get into a lot of what he's saying. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of people in here, but I do want to say peace to Sister Mo, Brother Mansa, Charles was good. You know what I'm saying? Keenan, all the other people that ain't said nothing yet, those of you who will catch the stream later. Yeah, man. Well, I ain't going to be dropping them, you know. I ain't going to be dropping them like it's no more, but yeah, I'm a little, you know, trying to put some minor content out just to kind of keep people in the space. Ramon, was good, brother? 9 times 9 was good with you, man. Yeah, like the show, share the show. Let everybody know we live, man. We live on Science with Sean. It's been a while, I'm pretty sure. For those that are subscribed and click the notification bell, y'all ain't seen this channel pop up in a while. So I appreciate whoever show up. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you. I ain't expecting too much from too many people because, you know, I ruffle too many feathers out here in these YouTube streets. So I don't expect them to really like rock with me. You feel me? And it's okay because, you know what I'm saying? Dr. John Henry Clark told me we ain't got no friends. So as an intellectual, that's how I feel. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get into it. Now, remember, the views and opinions of Happy Films has nothing to do with me. This is a mere potential live critique. I need this footage on my own merit so that in case I want to go back and break it down, I can go back and break it down and take little small clips from this particular bill and rip Rizza up and handle him how he needs to be handled. So with that being said, they got some kind of show or whatever it is they got going on that they selling tickets for. Black Happy Be Excellent. So for those of you who want to, support it, it is what it is. But let's hit him, and we're gonna hear him out.
Peace, family.
Peace, everyone.
Wow, it's great to be up in the house again. Happy talks, and we have Mr. Rizza Islam. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Before we get to him, we got some stuff to talk about, family. We're going to give you guys, wow, you guys are already up in the house. Okay, that's what's up. All right, I haven't seen George in a long time. Okay. All right, peace, family. So, this, and this is like we want to make sure we let you guys, just kind of understand our thought process about things. So, we are a community-based organization, which means we love the community. We like being in the community. And so there's a lot of activities that go on throughout the world. And we need for you guys to let us know when things are happening. Okay, now that doesn't mean we can come to every single thing because there's only like 2 of us. But like if things that we can get to, we would love to just know about and really let other people know about your event and stuff like that. So this past weekend, I was able to go home to Detroit and check out Ashra Kwesi and his wife. They were at Al-Kabu Land Center, which was nice. But the cool thing about it, as soon as I walked in, I was like, wow, this felt a lot like One Africa. Because a lot of the vendors that were at the One Africa conference in April, they were there. I met, so it's like a bunch of people, but it was nice. Dr. Ken Harris, who was going to be moderating our Black Excellence, Day of Black Excellence. In February, he came out and, we checked out Baba Ashra. And also, Nicole was in the house. She's one of our happy viewers. Toby, G Mac. So these were like all people that we've been hanging out with, which was really nice to just be able to, check out the community and stay connected. And Nubian was there, Marinke. And so she was, she was lecturing. And so it was a really nice event in Detroit. And, so the thing about this, the reason why we're telling you this, family, is that a lot of people didn't really know about the event. Okay. And we need to, be attending other people's events. We need to be out there. We need to be just working in collaboration. So when you guys have events, please make sure you just let us know. I don't know. Hoppy might be up in the house.
Yeah. And it's important, that we.
Peace, family. How you doing?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, my brother.
How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm well. It's always good to see my brother and my sisters. Good to see all the beautiful work that you continue to do from the East Coast on the other side, and all across the diaspora. So it's always good to see.
Okay. How's things on the West Coast? How's things going on in California?
Man, things are strong, brother. There are victories and there are constant fights. You have some victories as it pertains to certain laws and things, and people are working together. Some abnormal weather out here during this, them and us back to the knowledge of ourselves. So the first question being, who is the original man? Because we were made to believe that we were other than the original man, and that the original man, like that of Jesus, when they painted him as a white man, they painted Moses as a white man, the angels as a white man, etc., etc. They convinced us that we were not the original man and that they were, but that we came from a monkey or ape type of mutated circumstance.
So let me run it down because we missed a little bit of where he started. Right? So you already heard a brother say who's the original man. First of all, there's no original man. So saying original man is pseudoscience off the rip. Then to say that people saying that we come from monkeys or apes, that's pseudoscience. So there's 2 instances of him being wrong right now. Now we on science with Sean. We gonna kick that motherfucking science. We gonna kick that motherfucking science over here. I'm a cuss. I'm gonna do all that. We are cussing methodologists, science enthusiasts, source extraordinaires over here. You understand me? We gonna do all that. This brother's, let's hear him again.
Comes to mind is who is the original man, you know, and I know that was like, you know, the first lesson in student enrollment, who is the original man. Like that's the first thing that is taught, you know. So for the audience that don't know, I just want to give them some basic foundational information when it comes to the nation as an enrollee. Some of the things that you may go through, like what this presented. First things first, let's start with this. What is a student enrollment?
Well, the student enrollment goes over the actual facts, starting off with the actual facts and student enrollment. It goes over a series of questions that help to pinpoint, point out, analyze, clarify, fact check, and orient our people, bringing them and us back to the knowledge of ourselves. So the first question being, who is the original man? Because we were made to believe that we were other than the original man, and that the original man, like that of Jesus, when they painted him as a white man, they painted Moses as a white man, the angels as a white man, etc., etc. They convinced us that we were not the original man and that they were, but that we came from a monkey or ape type of mutated circumstance. And because of that, the first thing God will do is reorient you with who you truly are. So the first question had to be, who is the original man? And the answer is, the original man is the Asiatic black man.
Boom. Boom. The original man is the Asiatic black man. This boy gonna give us all kind of sound bites tonight, boy. We finna have fun. Y'all, Science and Sean is back. Where we into science, right? Where we science and shit talk. That's the motto. Pseudoscience will be hit with these hollows. You follow? Bars. This science with Sean, baby. Yeah, we're gonna get it in over here. So, Asiatic black man. Come on, y'all. Rock with your boy. Asiatic black man. Let's get up. Nope. Look at that. Look at that. Asiatic black man. More science legend states that as a young Drew Ali, yada, yada, yada. What is Asiatic black? Here we go. Instead of being Negro, colored, black, or Ethiopian, Noble Drew Ali asserted that African Americans were actually olive-skinned and Asiatic. Or to be more specific, they belong to the Asiatic nation of North America. So let's do a little deeper dive. Who is the original? Look, peep this, y'all. One of the earliest known humans is Homo habilis, or handyman. He lived 2.4 million to 1.4 million years ago, right? But that ain't what they're talking about, right? I know they don't talk about no evolution. No, they don't talk about no evolution. But let me go back to Asiatic. I can't even spell it. It's something that I'm looking for that I need to get into it. Look at this website. This is by, look at the name on here. Ebony Boone Neal. Look, she got the more sign shit. I don't want to use it. It's a non-cipher. Let's just go to Google. Look what Google says, Asiatic race. The term Asiatic may refer to the synonym of Asian race. Go to Asian race, you go with this, you see that. We on a Asian people. Asian people are Asians. Asiatic people are people of Asia. Is the original man from Asia? Is the original man from Asia, y'all? Anybody that want to talk that talk is the original man from Asia. Hmm? Here go a map of Asia. Blow it up. Here we go. What the original man from on here? What the original man from on here? Hmm? Let's find the first Homo sapiens sapien, right? Oldest Homo sapien remain. There you go, Google. You're listening. You're listening. We can go into this source. This source is gonna lead us to another source. We're just having a little research fun right now. The age of the oldest Homo sapien discovered on Homo 1 at least 230,000 years ago, when it was first found under volcanic ash in where? Ethiopia. When? 1960s. It was believed to be nearly 200,000 years old. Now let's go ahead and correct Homo sapiens. Let's do this. All right. We need to know. Well, I don't want to go to the dictionary. I'm gonna see if I can get a better. There we go. Better definition here. So the species that you and all other living human beings on this planet belong to is Homo sapiens. During the time of Tyson just put it. During the time of dramatic change, climate change 300,000 years ago, Homo sapiens evolved where? In Africa. Like other early humans that were living at the same time, they gathered and hunted food and evolved behaviors that helped them respond to the challenges of survival of an unstable environment. Where did they say the Homo sapien was where? Africa. Is this Africa? Is this Africa? Is this Africa? Let's go back. Run it down, Rizza.
Being who is the original man, because we were made to believe that we were other than the original man, and that the original man, like that of Jesus, when they painted him as a white man, they painted Moses as a white man, the angels as a white man, etc., etc. They convinced us that we were not the original man and that they were, but that we came from a monkey or ape type of mutated circumstance. And because of that, the first thing God will do is reorient you with who you truly are. So the first question had to be, who is the original man? And the answer is, the original man is the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. Now, just in that answer and question alone, that's a whole lecture in itself. All right, that is a full book within itself. When you are saying, first of all, Asiatic, when you hear that term, you're thinking, wait, what do you mean Asiatic? You're talking about the people who are slanted eyed, who are a little lighter skin, maybe yellow skin over in that area we know as Asia, China, etc. No, Asiatic, because the planet was once called Asia. And so the original people across the planet was once known as Asia, meaning body of land. And it goes into further in-depth definitions as well. And so when you look at that, then you look at.
Hold up. What the word Asia mean? What he say the word Asia mean? Come on. This nigga slicker than a can of oil.
In question alone. That's a whole lecture in itself. All right. That is a full book within itself. When you are saying, first of all, Asiatic, when you hear that term, you're thinking, wait, what do you mean Asiatic? You're talking about the people who are slanted eyed, who are a little lighter skin, maybe yellow skin over in that area we know as Asia, China, etc. No, Asiatic, because the planet was once called Asia. And
so the planet was once called Asia. So the planet was once called Asia. So this ain't the name. The Pangea, it was called Asia. Okay, hold on. The word Asia originated from the Greek word Aea, first attributed to Herodotus, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. The man said the planet was once it was once known as Asia, bro. How could it be once known as Asia when the word originated from the ancient Greek word, first attributed to Herodotus at about 440 BCE in reference to Anatolia or to the Persian Empire, in contrast to Greece and Egypt? It originally was just a name for the east bank of the Aegean Sea, an area known to the Hittites and Asua. In the early classical times, the Greeks started using the term Asia to refer to the whole region known today as Anatolia, which is the peninsula which forms the Asian portion of present-day Turkey. Wasn't no whole world. Wasn't no whole world. What in the shit this shit? I told you this science for Sean, baby. This science for Sean. When we kick science and talk shit, this dude, that's the motto. What in the effing bleep, bleep, bleep is he talking about? Let's go back. We got to run it back. I'm telling y'all, I should have told y'all to pop some damn popcorn.
Black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. Now, just in that answer and question alone, that's a whole lecture in itself. All right, that is a full book within itself. When you are saying, first of all, Asiatic, when you hear that term, you're thinking, wait, what do you mean Asiatic? You're talking about the people who are slanted eyed, who are a little lighter skin, maybe yellow skin over in that area we know as Asia, China, etc. No, Asiatic, because the planet was once called Asia. And so the original people across the planet was once known as Asia, meaning body of land. And it goes into further in-depth definitions.
Hold on. So let's go back and see what the rest of the etymology of the word Asia means. Okay. Now, the deeper root of the etymology can only be guessed at. The following two possibilities have been suggested. Do y'all not know that I know how to play this game? I still know how to slay a pseudo. I am the ultimate. Look at the screen. Look at the screen. The deeper root of the etymology can only be guessed. So why is he making shit up? It can only be guessed at. There's two possibilities. It could have originated from the Aegean root asis, which means muddy and silty, as a description of the eastern shores of the Aegean Sea. It could derive from the borrowed Semitic root asu, which means varying, rising, or light. Of course, a directional referring to the sunrise, Asia, thus meaning eastern land. However, since the Greek name Asia is in all likelihood related to the Hittite Asua, the etymology of one has to account for the other as well. Personified in Greek mythology by the deity of the same name. Look at that. The Greek mythology, Asia was one of the 3,000 Oceanids, daughters of Titans Oceanus and sister spouse Tethys. Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. Let's go back a little bit. Let's go to the etymology online. Huh? Let's go to the etymology online. Yep. We can do it live. 14th century, inhabitant of Asia. That's what Asian means. Asian means an inhabitant of Asia, Asiatic, right? Because we heard him say that Asiatic black man, belonging to the characteristics of Asia. Ain't got shit to do. Asiatic is the belonging to or characteristic of Asia. 1630s from Latin Asiaticus, surname of the general Lucius Cornelius Scipio. From Greek, Asiaticus from Asia. See, Asia also compared Asian as a noun native of inhabitant of Asia by 1763 in the ancient Roman Asiatic Sea, Orientoris, florid and overly ornate prose. Asia. From the Latin word Asia, from the Greek Asia, speculated from the Akkadian Asu, to go out to rise, in reference to the sun, thus the land of the sunrise. Come on, man. What we talking about? And this could only be guessed at. So how is he coming up with the world being called something and calling us Asiatics when in fact that they are sitting here and telling you, if you just read, it ain't you. So let's go. Go, Rizza.
So when you are saying, first of all, Asiatic, when you hear that term, you're thinking, wait, what do you mean Asiatic? You're talking about the people who are slanted eyed, who are a little lighter skin, maybe yellow skin over in that area we know as Asia, China, etc. No, Asiatic, because the planet was once called Asia. And so across the planet was once known as Asia, meaning body of land. And it goes into further in-depth definitions as well. And so when you look at that, then you look at that is the original people, which are darker complected people of the planet, heavily melanated people. That is who we are. And then, of course, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, because cream always rises to the top no matter what you do to try to keep it down. God of the universe, God meaning one who possesses force and power, not the originator, but the one that possesses force and power. Be and it is, we can shape matter into whatever we choose. We can create airplanes as we have done.
What in the fuck? Hold up. We can shape matter? We can shape matter? We can shape matter? Come on, man. How is we shaping matter? How do we do it? First, you know what I'm saying? How are we shaping matter? First of all, what is the shape of matter? He ain't explaining nothing to nobody. Hold up, go back. I gotta go back. I'm sorry, y'all. But when my pseudo senses tingle,
at that, then you look at that is the original people, which are darker complected people of the planet, heavily melanated people. That is who we are. And then, of course, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, because cream always rises to the top no matter what you do to try to keep it down. God of the universe, God meaning one who possesses force and power, not the originator, but the one that possesses force and power. Be and it is, we can shape matter into whatever we choose. We can create airplanes as we have done. We can make and manufacture and evolve high levels of technology, which we have done. At a certain point before we fail and we're hit in the head figuratively and lost the knowledge of who we were able to move things with our minds in a telepathic type of circumstance. So all of these things are part of who the original man is. And also when we say who is the original man, that includes the original woman as well, because there not being an original woman attached, because we quite literally are connected in every single way, shape, and form. So again, that right there, brother, is a very in-depth study that we have all had to undertake, and we are still undertaking it. None of us have mastered this. We're still studying. So the original man is the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. And that is in our original state that we are still working very hard to get back to.
Is. They
okay. You spoke about the creative genius in there. You spoke about creating, like making planes, bringing things into existence. And, you know, when we think of this black excellence, that's the one thing that comes to mind is this manifestation of God, the manifestation of God in the human existence, or the human beings of God having a human experience. And when we think about that, we think about just our connectedness to this expansive universe, or as connectedness to the one, to the all. And as the nation, as a member of the FOI, the Nation of Islam, how is that process in terms of connecting one back to the source? How does that process take place?
Beautiful question. First thing is, not only do we study Islam as taught by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, it is from the understanding of the original source and connection. So, for example, when you hear Islam, some people will think of Arabs in the Middle East, which we make sure we give them respect because they made sure to keep sacred what it is that they have, meaning the Holy Quran and how it is one of the only books that has been able to be as solidified as possible with, I would say, the least amount of tampering, if there is any tampering. So we appreciate them for that. And also when it comes to us being connected to the one, prayer is a part of that. But the prayer that we practice, which of course is prostrating 5 times a day, is what we are taught to do. Some teachings, a part of it will be 7 times, depending on what it is. And there are other prayers as well. But in that, every single movement, from the raising of the hands to the covering of the right over the left, to the bending over, to the holding of your knee, to the kneeling down, to the face or forehead to the ground, all of this is mathematical. So this is another side of it when it comes to the scientific understanding of what the origins, or the black origins of Islam is, or the origins of us maintaining our connection energetically, celestially, biochemically to the actual energy of the universe itself in the oneness of God. So even when we are practicing that, when some people may think, oh, you're following this or that, it's like, no, we're following what we are supposed to follow as the original people in every way, shape, or form. So quite literally, when we're standing with our feet at 90-degree angles, with our right hand over our left, meaning righteousness over wickedness, and the 90-degree angles, which are mathematically precise angles when it comes to looking at the pyramids, when it comes to looking at certain directions of the different various points of stars and how degrees work. All of this is inside of the way that we study in connecting and reconnecting to our higher selves. Then, of course, if you look at it on the base level, prayer, doing our best to pray to Almighty God Allah, the Creator, the one true and living God, where we hold our hands open. We go into certain prayers that are in the prayer book, that are in the Holy Quran, that are recognized by the whole world of Islam. And then, of course, there are other prayers that we have been given as far as the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, refuge prayer, and prayers where we are taught to do at least 7 times a day, where we go into seeking refuge from anxiety and grief, from the lack of strength and laziness, from cowardice and niggardliness, from the overpower and the oppressions.
This said cowardliness and niggardliness. Listen, y'all, this is what they are teaching people. He just claimed that the Asiatic black man is the original man, when there's no such emphasis of first black for the first man. And we just ruled it out that it was in Africa where the first Homo sapien appears. Then he says all these other things, and he's just slow walking himself into a shithole. But our people romanticize this mess. You watch, just listen. I'm gonna let it play for 5 minutes. You're gonna catch 6 to 10 errors. It's either gonna be a rabbit hole if you listen to 5 minutes of this Negro.
Men, like, there are certain prescribed prayers that were made for us here in America, because we as Black people have a different experience over here than anyone else. And so there are certain things that we have to do that will bring us back into who we are by nature. So not only do we do prayer, because I know there's a lot, but I had to, since you asked a question is breaking down the process of these things, it's that. Then, of course, the fasting part of it, which is not just the physical fasting. We not only fast during the month of Ramadan, but we also fast 3 days, is what we're taught to do out of every month. This is not just for the spiritual cleansing, but it's also for the physical cleansing. It is also to be united in one brotherhood and sisterhood with our nation so that we can spiritually be connected at the end of each month for 3 days, which is a trial. That also represents a trial, because if you can make it through 3 days of not eating, it's a very, very powerful exercise of discipline. If you can deny your body the very natural thing that it requires to live, which is food and water, then you can easily stop drinking. You can easily stop smoking. You can easily stop being addicted to drugs and different things that you're not supposed to be addicted to. And then on the other side, the other level of fasting is from technology, social media, from cursing, from any of these different things that can be a hindrance to our progress. We do our best to remove ourselves slowly but surely away from them for certain periods of time to evolve ourselves again back into our original selves. So these are some of the processes, when it comes to not only reconnecting, but maintaining our connection to the one true living God, which we call Allah, that many people may have different names for.
My brother, one of the things that, came to mind as you were speaking was in that process also the reconnecting back with the cultural self. One of the things that the Nation of Islam is pretty well known for is its stance for Black nationalism, and how does the stance or the cultural aspects of Black nationalism comes into developing someone who's a fruit of the Islam or NG?
Oh, so when did the Nation of Islam become Black nationalists? They don't stand with anybody during any of these things. When did they become Black nationalists? They're gonna make me pull back up the Islam book. They're gonna make me pull out the Islam book with all the stuff in it. Nation of Islam is an Islamic and Black nationalist movement founded in Detroit by Farad Muhammad. Right? But this is the problem that I have with it. What movements have they been a part of? What movements? They didn't do no sit-ins. They didn't do no bus boycotts. What movements? Oh my goodness gracious.
ET. Like, how does that come in? Just teaching you yourself, because the knowledge of self is essential to becoming God. God becomes a God when God becomes aware of itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. You wake up and you know who you are once you have the knowledge of who you are. So when we think of the making of gods, let's talk about the knowledge of self and how that's so instrumental into that. Before you get started, again, family, please like, comment, and share. Those people who are new to the channel, especially those on YouTube, we have a 30K push. If you are just coming in for the night and you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe and notification button. We're about a few hundred away from that target, so please, family, help us out with that. Get on board, be a part of the happy movement. Also, you can show your love to the Cash App, Super Chats, and stars on Facebook. We're getting back to the discussion, my brother. Knowledge itself. Yes.
And I'll tell you this: when some of our people in this generation hear knowledge of self, because it's been demonized to learn the knowledge of self. Same way they used to do, back then when the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was teaching and Brother Malcolm X was teaching, and the Honorable Ms. Farrakhan in his early years was teaching, and Khalid Muhammad and Wadafuddin, all of them from the very beginning, Muhammad Ali, you name it, they would make it sound corny to gain knowledge of self, right? The mainstream media would try to demonize us. They would try to make it seem as though, okay, these Black folks are trying to teach you something that's devilish or of the devil, etc. So they wanted us to just be good Christians and we all good, because they knew that there was a threat of a Black man
Period. I was just waiting till he started talking about the vaccines and all of that before I say anything about his sweater. But you're absolutely correct when he talk about natural immunity is better than the vaccine sweater that he got on. Bro, he's a nut. He's and I'm talking about a nut on the tree. Pause. But he come on, bro. Like this dude is this dude. Let me let him go.
And knowing exactly who he is by nature, as well as the Black woman and all of the original members of the human family. So when it comes to the knowledge of self and a part of your question dealing with Black nationalism, no group of people who know who they are can be enslaved. No group of people who know who they are and who act on who they are can be misled. No group of people who know who they are and who act on who they are can be attacked without defending themselves. No group of people who know who they are and who act on who they are can be convinced to mistreat one another and will not mistreat one another. No group of people who know who they are, who act on who they are, will abuse their women, abuse their children, steal from one another, rob one another. No group of people who know who they are and who act on who they are will do anything that goes towards the degradation or the destruction of their own people, because we have in our mind the total inner, under, and overstanding that we are one together. We know that. Now we guess it, not, oh, I don't know about that. I'm not, no, we know. We know that. Other groups of people make it a point to learn the knowledge of self. And they make it a nationalistic type of approach, meaning this is for our people first. It's us first. Then it's everybody else. And I'm not mad at them. The Jewish community, you already knew I was going to mention them. They do this very well. The Indian community, they do it very well also. You have people, the Chinese community for sure does this very well. They are Chinese first. They are Jewish first. They are Indian first. And you cannot convince them to be somebody else or something else before they are who they are.
They don't apologize for it either.
Oh, come on. And they will never apologize for it. And I wouldn't even want them to apologize for it. We need to stop that damn apologizing. And I hope we get into that later, brother. Please give me a question regarding something about that topic. But because this mentality that we're watching everybody else utilize the same mentality that we used to utilize until we were destroyed. We used to be the same way. But now we're watching everyone else do the very thing that we were doing proudly. We did it proudly. And then we became made to be negative or look negative or bad or wrong for saying, I love the Black woman, for saying I'm proud to be a Black man, for saying, nah, I'm good with doing what needs to be done for my people first, and then I'm gonna help y'all out. But I can't help you with my leg broken. I can't help you if my woman is bashed up and beaten up. You want me to help your woman. I cannot take care of your children when I have my own children to look after first. I cannot go and put the fire out of your house when my whole damn block.
All right, so real quick, while we're sitting here, we're listening to him, there's something that I want you to think about. I want you to go back and I want y'all to think about critical thinking and also fallacies, right? Why am I saying critical thinking and fallacies? Well, first of all, hold on. I don't even care if y'all see this. In the books right here, no books. It's a book right here, critical thinking book. I don't want that book. It's one book that I'm looking for in particular. So hold on one second, y'all. Historical slavery, yada yada yada, corpus, Asian slaves, practical laboratory, research, solving everyday problems through science. Where this book at? This boy had me download. So hold on, y'all. I got something that I want to pull up. It's gonna be interesting. I know I didn't delete it. I know I ain't deleted this book. There we go. Boom. Here we go. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let me zoom in. Come out, go in. The book is The Skeptic, an encyclopedia of pseudoscience. That's the name of the book. The Skeptic, the encyclopedia of pseudoscience. Let me one page it up because it's on 2 pages right now. And let me zoom in a little bit. Now, I know y'all wondering why the hell I'm showing y'all this, right? Look, I can't make this up. The Skeptic, the encyclopedia of pseudoscience. This is volume 1, so it's a 2-volume set. Right? It was written in 2002 by Michael Shermer. And don't ask me to share it because I'm not going to share it with you. Volume 1, Important Pseudoscientific Concepts, Alien Abductions, Alternative Archaeology, Ancient Astronauts, Animal Mutilations, Anomalous Psychological Experiences, Anthroposophy and Anthroposophical Medicine, Astrology. I know, Honey, Miss Honey, are you still there, ma'am? Ma'am? I know I saw you in the chat earlier. Are you still with us, Miss Clark? Nah, I ain't forgetting nothing. Are you still with us? Now, attachment therapy, ball lighting, Bermuda Triangle, biorhythms, hypnosis, handwriting analysis, graphology, Geller, Feng Shui, faster than lightning. All of these things, right, are in the realm of pseudoscience. But I wanted to mess with Honey Clark real quick because she's big on astrology, and she ain't ready for this this work right here. She ain't ready for this work. So let me continue. Let's get into some more. It's full of stuff, y'all. But Piltdown Man, placebo effect, planetary alignments, polygraph, prayer and healing. Oh, pseudoscience and science, a primer of critical thinking, reincarnation, science, shamans and shamanisms. Man, they hitting everything. Synchronicity, therapeutic touch, right? That's all in chapter 1. Acupuncture, alternative medicine versus scientific medicine, Atlantis, the search for the lost continent, chiropractor, conventional or alternative healing. Yeah, man. See, we be sitting on a lot of stuff that we don't share with everybody. And you know what I'm saying? As researchers, sometimes we have to do that. So when people go out there and they say certain stuff, man, we can line all their stuff up. But I'm showing you this because I need to get to Case Studies in Pseudoscience from Skeptic Magazines. They deal with it all, y'all. That's just chapter 2. Chapter 3. Chapter 4, Science and Pseudoscience, For and Against. Evolutionary psychology is good science. Evolutionary psychology versus pseudoscience. Race and IQ, race and sports and good science. Science is an end. Science has a beginning. The science wars. Historical documents, creationism. Why am I bringing this up? Because this is important in Rizza Islam's whole thing. Because he said that we didn't evolve. He's a creationist. So you got to understand creationism, right? So look, Colorful Pebbles and Darwin's Dictum, an introduction. They bring up the origin of species. I don't want to give y'all this, but it's on the screen. We can kind of deal with it a little bit because it talks about, we talking about man, right? We talking about man. Rizza Islam said we the original man. We Asiatic black man. Yada, 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 yada. So let's deal with it. We ain't got to read too much into it. We can go right here to the 3rd paragraph. When Lewis and Mary Leakey went to Africa in search of our hominid ancestors, they did so based not on any existing data, but on Darwin's theory of human descent And his argument that because we are so obviously close relatives of the great apes of Africa, it is there that the fossil remains of our forebears would most likely be found. In other words, the Leakeys went to Africa because of a concept, not a precept. The data, the data followed and confirmed this theory, which is the very opposite of the way in which we usually think science works. If there's an underlying theme in this encyclopedia, a substrate benefit the surface typography, to continue the geologic metaphor, it is that science is an exquisite blend of data and theory, facts and hypotheses, observations and views. If we conceive of science as a fluid of dynamic way of thinking instead of a staid, dogmatic body of knowledge, it is clear that the data theory stratum runs throughout the archaeology of human knowledge and is exorable part of the scientific process. I wanted to bring that out. Now here you go. We can no more expunge from ourselves all biases and preferences than we can find a truly objective Archimedean point, a God's eye view of the human condition. We are, after all, humans, not gods. You heard the brother talk about this whole godly thing and all of that. You heard him saying all of that. So I wanted to kind of get into that because in this text, right, when it's talking about evolution and things of that nature, it talks about creationists. And I wanted to make that a point here. So I'm gonna leave that over there. I kind of put that on y'all a little bit. You know what I mean? Let's get back to this good show. This good old show right here by Rizza. And this is bad because the Happy got this on their platform, and now this is the shit that they're pushing. This dude called himself the Asiatic black man, and he's sitting back there with a whole thing, an Egyptian mummy thing in the back. I can't even think of the name right now. I'm so upset.
Is a blaze. I have to take care of home first. So when it comes to learning about the knowledge of self, what it will activate, which is why the enemy never wanted us to have it, is a self-preservation active mode. A self-preservation mode first. And they couldn't have that. Why? Because they were attacking us. So they knew if we allowed them to step back into the knowledge of who they are, which some of the presidents said this, they will no longer be able to be under our control, and they will fight back.
What president said that shit? He said some presidents said it. Which presidents were they, and where they at? Can we get the names? Because he's generalizing a whole lot, and people are taking him at face value for this junk.
A lot of them knew this, which is why they made it illegal for us to read. I don't think a lot of us truly, thoroughly looked at that. Why is it that you wouldn't allow us to read books? I don't get why couldn't we read books? I don't get why couldn't we read books? What was so dangerous? If you know, well, you'll answer the question if you look at the books I'm holding up. You'll realize why it was so dangerous.
Yes, sir.
No,
bro, don't even read
yes,
books.
brother. That part of our training and how we are taught is critical because that is the foundation of everyone's training who is intelligent and who sincerely loves their people. It has to be done. Knowledge of self is an absolute requirement.
Yeah, knowledge of self is definitely, one of the things. And you said something earlier about, the first law, about the first law of nature, which is self-preservation. And that being connected to, again, the knowledge of self. And you feel this, it becomes more innate when you have a certain, I guess Malcolm, going back to Malcolm X, one of the things that he said, one of the many things he said was they taught us to hate black, and as a result of taught us to hate black, we have these random acts of violence against each other that we don't really know why we're doing it. But when you really think that, the devil was black and all these different things, all these different notions in your head, and black is ugly, you'll respond and react to it in a very negative way. And as such, we have this hatred for each other, this deep-rooted hatred, which we had to get out of. In the way, the pathway out is definitely through knowledge itself. So in a nation, you have two very distinct methodologies in terms of teaching. You have the one for the sisters, NGT, you had the FOI. Why is that?
Well, one, a man cannot teach a woman to be a woman, and a woman cannot teach a man to be a man. Although we do our best to, because a lot of situations, the sisters have no choice because there is not a man there, or vice versa, the brother has no choice because there's not a woman there. So he has children, he has to raise them, whether it's a daughter or son, he has to do his best, and vice versa, same thing with her. She has to raise her son or daughter to the best of her ability. Looking at why that is, why they don't have their mate with them, varies depending on the relationship. So we're not going to blame the sisters or the brothers. It just is what it is. But the sisters were removed from the knowledge of themselves just as the men were. So we had to be taught in a way where, one, we're not going to be distracted by being in the same room when we're teaching each other, because here's one major thing that a lot of people don't consider at times. Psychologically, when you have men in the same room as women, but the topic is about the nature of one of them, too many considerations and thoughts will be running around in their head when the opposite is sitting there, when I'm sitting here being taught about what I'm supposed to be doing by nature. So I'm going to be a little apprehensible, a little against stepping into that, because you sitting right here, which is why it had to be separated. Let the sisters be taught by the sisters. Let the brothers be taught by the brothers. Why? Because there won't be no damn excuses. There's going to be men teaching men. Ain't nobody going to be holding your hand over here. This is what you must do by nature as a man, and vice versa with the sisters. Sisters, this is what the sisters will teach. This is how you take care of yourself, how you take care of your husband, how you rear and raise children, how you conduct yourself and handle yourself at home and abroad, how to cook, how to sew, even self-defense, hygiene, all of these things. We have to be retaught. The sisters are taught very specific things.
How the freak do you have to be retaught hygiene, bro? Your mom and dad has showed you how to clean yourself when you're a baby. You in the tub, even when you're a toddler, even when you're a young kid. They bathe you, bro. They put you in the tub. They get the soap and the rag. They lather that junk up and they go to work on your whole entire body in like three or 4 minutes, and then they clean you up. This is after you done sat in the tub for 30 minutes and played with toys the whole entire time. So how do you have to reteach somebody about hygiene? What are we talking here?
The brothers are taught very specific things. And in the Nation of Islam, we're not allowed to go in the room. I want y'all to understand how serious this is. We were destroyed psychologically when it came to education. So we have to be repaired psychologically when it comes to education. That's right, our brother King Simon, 75% of the work is done with the woman, which goes into the water, and 3/4 of the planet, 75% representing the woman.
Bruh, this Negro done pulled out some numerology on a live stream. See, this is why I can't take these Negroes serious, bro. This is why I don't go on the happy or support anything that they actually do. And it's sad because, and this is just me, and I'm saying this on this particular channel, they reached out to Black Panther. They even did some stuff with Black Panther trying to promote some of the stuff. But then they turn around and they do shit like this, where they have this dude on this platform spewing this misinformation, and this motherfucker over here co-signing. He's not being challenged. And if we do challenge him, then it is what it is. And they're sitting here running these messages around, and it's all gibberish. It's all gibberish. They don't want it challenged.
That's a whole other part of this as well. But the women have to be taught in a way where they are comfortable to be listened to and listen to themselves and get back into their nature. And same thing with the brothers. We have to be sharpened like steel by other men of that type of stature, discipline, etc. So that's why there's a separation there. And then when we come back, then we can face each other and reason with each other and operate differently, because now we're operating from a more natural understanding and perspective. Now I have more of this discipline. Now I have more of this knowledge of self. Now I know exactly how to treat you. I wasn't taught this by my uncle, by my father, by my older brothers. I didn't know this. Now I do know this. So now I know how to interact with you. I know how to open your door. I know how to call you this. I know what not to do over here, how to handle myself. Same thing with sisters, how to conduct themselves, how to dress in certain circumstances, how to talk, how to operate around certain people, how not to allow any old man, any dude, to just look at you, touch your hand, or there's certain ways and codes of conduct that will help us to build ourselves. And that way, as we build the respect for ourselves, everybody else will build more respect for us because they will have no choice. So we had to be retaught. Some people don't want to learn, brother. Some people just don't, you know. But at this point, to be honest with you, I can just tell you when it comes to the two separations, FOI meaning Fruit of Islam, the name given to the military training of the men that belong to Islam in North America, meaning those of us who are taught under the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, Islam as taught by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Then the sisters are called MGT, Muslim Girls in Training, or General Civilization Class, which is GCC. And then they are taught the same teaching, but when it comes to the specific training of the women, they are taught by the sister captains, by the sister lieutenants, by the sister first officers, etc. And we both are in a military form as well. So we have captains, lieutenants, first officers, second officers, etc. So it's a beautiful thing. I mean, it's cold. It's cold. It is cold, and I'm
you know, and I just want to just let the family understand, you know, we have to see the nation. You may philosophically may not agree with the teachings. The nation has been a pillar in our community for almost 100 years.
Fact.
It's coming up on 100 years, and
I ain't seen the nation in my hood or in my community ever. Fuck is you talking about?
We have to look at this organization and the teachings of most honorable Elijah Muhammad as something. You know, we just can't dismiss it. These brothers and sisters have been there putting in work in the community, putting in real work in the community for, like I said, almost 100 years. So you got.
So where's the work? If they've been putting in real work, let's go around and look at the corners. What work did they put in? They put in work for themselves. They created things for themselves. Other black people don't have access to those things. It's literally FUBU with the NOI. It's FUBU. Y'all don't come out when people get killed. Y'all don't march. Y'all don't do none of that. All y'all do is talk. And then all y'all is shut up and only 5 people talk.
Got to salute them, and you got to at least take the time out to study their formula of success. You know, we often look to others as trying to figure out ways of why they're successful. Yet still, we have this institution in our community that's really putting in work and that's producing great minds year after year after year. And this brother is one. He's a product of that. So again, salute the nation. So, you know, we're going to move on in the discussion. We're going to talk a little bit about some current things that's going on. And this is so much happening now. This is actually a good time to talk. So you spoke about demonizing knowledge itself a little while ago. And one of the things that came to mind was this woke culture. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And somehow woke culture has become synonymous with consciousness, and I'm like, damn, they doing it to us, you know. And we're getting kind of caught up in this thing where now what we used to be like the brother sisters conscious, now it's like woke, and now we're looked at as like this demonized thing again. How the hell did this happen, man?
Oh, brother, you know, I'll say it this way, brother. White folks are funny. All right, I'm just saying this way. They're very funny because the term woke, and I don't know who started woke, but woke is a small part of to be awoke or awakened or aware or enlightened, which we know all the way at the top is conscious. So it's a child of consciousness, but it was taken as a term to be used by white people to be synonymous with uncivilized, ignorant, dangerous, of a terroristic nature, or to be honest with you, when they're talking about with black folks, nigga culture. I'm just saying, okay? It's all of these things that are derogatory, negative descriptions. And it's like, wait a minute. First of all, since when did y'all start using the term woke, and what does it mean to you? Because that's not what we've always known it to be. We would hear woke, and then it became commercialized as some watered down form of intelligence and consciousness. All right, that's what we know it to be. Not bad, just not the root of the thing. Just a small little piece, like, okay, that sounds nice. But when I heard people start saying, stay woke, I was like, the hell? I was like, what do you? That's when I knew. When it became commercialized, I said, okay, they're about to use this term and they're going to put their little spin on it per usual, like they do. And the consciousness, just like it was back then, is being demonized now because too many people are waking up.
Yes.
So the past tense being woke, but no, they're literally waking up. People are realizing the game of politics. Every 4 years, you elect the same circus clown, the same thing every year. 4 years. The money is not being controlled the way we think it is. They don't care about the people in the way that they say they do. The food is being manipulated and controlled, genetically modified. The people who are supposed to be regulating that are being paid by the pharmaceutical companies that are genetically modifying the very food that they're trying to force you to eat. They are setting up these locations to be burned down to instill and ensue, create a famine to where we will have no choice but to eat their genetically modified foods. They're forcing you to take poison that makes no sense. That's not scientifically proven.
Bro, where's the evidence for where's the evidence for all of this? Watch what he's finna say though.
You talk about the truth about anything, you get blackballed, you get called crazy, ignorant, conspiracy theorists. You say that a certain group of people control things that they clearly control because they use their control that they say they don't have to do the very thing that they are, the very thing that they're saying that they're not able to do. But you can't say that, so you're called anti-Semitic, you're called crazy, blah, blah, blah. And we're watching this time and time again. Then you have certain black folks who work on behalf of corporations, but they make us believe that they're our friends, but they do the very thing that they say they're not going to do to the benefit of that group and not our people. And we keep going backwards. When we try to make 2 steps forward, we make 10 steps backwards, or that's what it looks like. And the people are witnessing this all the time. So now we're waking up in the last, I would say 2 years, almost 3. We were slapped into reality. People are now being forced to become conscious now. They are forced to see it. You can't hide it no more. It's all on these cameras. It's on these so-called smartphones. You cannot run from it. So people are being forced to look at it. And so that's why they're trying to say woke, meaning anything that goes towards rising up in intelligence and calling out the crap that we're seeing. So they call that woke culture. What are you? No, no, either things are right or they are wrong. People are becoming aware or they are still asleep. And the problem is too many people are waking up and they don't like it. So they're trying to demonize it in a new form where white people of influence are saying woke culture, woke this, the woke left, the woke. No, it's white people doing the same evil crap they've been doing with a different label. And it's black sellouts doing the same crap they've been doing on behalf of evil white people under the same label.
Black sellouts. See what I'm saying? Like, you got to be careful with this Negro.
Call it out and let's end the game. Because the moment I heard that, brother, I said, okay, they're going to try it again and repackage the same nonsense to try to feed it to the people to make us believe that we still have a chance under this system when we do not.
He's just rambling, bro.
You mentioned a minute ago, just trying to convince us to take certain things. And,
Watch.
Well, and one of the things that's coming out in the so-called woke culture are the adverse effects of the jab.
Come on, brother.
Yeah, man. You gotta talk about this. You gotta talk about this.
See, and we're on YouTube, so of course, yeah, we'll be coded with it. The poison, y'all know what it is. The poison stab, the poison chick, whatever you want to call it. We were right. And this is not something that we like to say when it comes to negative things. We're not happy about saying we were right about this. Why? Because it rendered nearly 40 million people unemployed in America. They injected this into over 200 million people in America, which is a large percentage. It's only 330 million in America, so they injected into a large percentage. They injected over 5 billion human beings on the planet, the majority of human beings on the planet, according to their numbers. They have been subjected to, lied to about, coerced, convinced, forced, you name it, to take a poisonous concoction that they knew nothing about, and they knew nothing about the long-term effects, didn't tell you a damn thing about what happens down the line because they didn't know. And when I say they, I'm talking about mainly those that push it, but the ones at the very top knew exactly what it would do because it is doing the very thing that we were revealing 2 years ago.
All right, so this is detrimental to the health of a lot of human beings because what he's insinuating is that something did not work. Well, let me just be a little bit clear with everybody since we on the subject of the whole topic. Hopkins University. And let me see if I can pull this map up. Let me try to go to the beginning. All right, so let's deal with facts. Hold on, Keenan. You ain't got to say nothing. Let's deal with facts. All right, so as of 12/8/2022, 10 p.m., in a 28-day deaths, they had 39,622 deaths. Since the pandemic, it's been 6.6 million deaths. There's been 47 million cases. The doses of vaccinations has been 13 billion administered. Over a 20-day period, 168 million doses administered. Right? Cases are in red, deaths are in white. If you look at the United States, there's 1.3 million deaths. Cases. 9,000 in a 28-day. 9,250 deaths. Totals. There's been almost 100 million cases, and it's been 1 million deaths. We have over 100 million COVID deaths. So how many in this group? This group right here. How many in this group do you think were vaccinated? I just want to look at some basic stuff. 1.1 million people. This is a more updated number. Out of the COVID cases, the reported COVID cases. These are closed cases, right? Now, how many of these people do y'all think that's vaccinated? Out of 1 million people that died, how many of them you think are vaccinated? How many of them you think is unvaccinated? I ain't gonna wait on the response. So 99% of the people, 98% of the people that died right here in this number right here throughout the pandemic were unvaccinated people. That's a lot of people. 900,000 people. That's how many lives. That's a lot of people. So I want to deal with something else real quick. I don't need my book. I don't need anything. All of y'all know, if you've been following Science with Sean, y'all already know I've done the research. So there has been no reports of long-term effects from the mRNA vaccines. No reports of long-term effects. What am I saying? Let me be a little bit clear. Since we talking long-term effects, let me be a little bit clear. Because I like showing people stuff. What is long COVID-19? Any of y'all can look this up. This is what long COVID-19 is. People with COVID conditions can have a wide range of symptoms that can last more than 4 weeks or even months after infection. Sometimes the symptoms can even go away or come back again. Post-COVID condition may not affect everyone the same. People with post-COVID conditions may experience problems from different types of combinations of symptoms happening over different lengths of time. Most patients' symptoms slowly improve with time. However, for some people, post-COVID conditions can last weeks, months, or longer after COVID illness and can sometimes result in disability. People who experience post-COVID conditions most commonly report general symptoms, respiratory and heart symptoms, neurological symptoms, digestive symptoms, other symptoms, right? Symptoms that are hard to explain and manage. Some people with post-COVID conditions have symptoms that are not explained by test. People with post-COVID conditions may develop or continue to have symptoms that are hard to explain and manage. What I am talking to you about is the long-term effects of an infection from COVID, not a vaccination. The long-term effects from an infection, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't making this up. So now, if you think I'm making it up, watch this. Some people may be more at risk for developing post-COVID conditions or long COVID. Researchers are working to understand which people of those groups are more likely to have post-COVID conditions and why. Studies have shown that some groups of people may be affected more by post-COVID conditions. These are examples of not comprehensive list of people groups who might be more at risk than other groups for developing post-COVID conditions. And then they run it down. People who experience more severe illness, COVID-19 illness. I'm going to say this again. People who have experienced more severe COVID-19 illness, especially those who were hospitalized or needed intensive care. People who had underlying health conditions prior to COVID-19. People who did not get a COVID-19 vaccine. I'm going to run it back to you again. Let me blow this up. Long COVID. What? People who did not get a COVID-19 vaccine. People who experience multi-symptom system inflammatory syndrome or MIS during or after a COVID-19 illness. Skip this. Preventing long COVID. The best way to prevent post-COVID conditions is to protect yourself and others from becoming infected. For people who are eligible, getting vaccinated and staying up to date with vaccines against COVID can help prevent COVID-19 infection and protect against severe illness. What the hell is he talking about? Some long-term effects, the jab, all of this other rhetoric that he's spewing. I'm keeping it real simple and real cute. Here's what natural immunity does. You have to survive it. If you've been infected with COVID and you've never been vaccinated, you don't know what it's done to your body if you have not done any studies and then check out things. That little cough you got, you ain't got rid of, that little throbbing heart that you got that you ain't got rid of, all those almost 300 different symptoms that one can create in their own body. You don't know that little tiredness that you've had, your ability to think, all of those things. If you think I'm making it up, okay. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Long COVID symptoms. Got a list. Everything you want to know, they got an answer to it. Let's go to the list. Here we go. Tired and fatigued. Symptoms get worse after physical or mental effort. Fever, difficulty breathing, the shortness of breath, cough, chest pains, fast beating or pounding heart, difficult thinking or concentrating, headaches, sleep problems, dizziness when you stand up, pins and needle feeling, changes in smell or taste. depression, anxiety, diarrhea, stomach ache, joint muscle pain, rash, changes in your menstrual cycle. Long COVID. You cannot play with me right now. Everybody in this chat that has been rocking with Science with Sean has been vaccinated. Know that there's no long-term effects. We got vaccinated years ago. It's 2022, about to be 2023. People have been getting vaccinated since 2020. The end of 2020, beginning of 2021. Some of us are 2 years into our initial vaccination, and we ain't grew no extra limb, none of that stuff. Now, what Rizza is implying is something that he does not understand, which is a conversation that I had with Honey Clark the other day when she was asking, how do you explain this, or what's this going on? Because of vaccine efforts, and there are more people that are vaccinated, who do you think is dying now? Remember, we dealt with the epidemiology tracker. We learned from an epidemiologist, and we have sourced information for epidemiologists, and we have it from all the top virologists, that when our vaccine efforts increase, then the number of hospitalizations or deaths we will start seeing in the vaccinated groups. However, in this instance, it's people over the age of 65 who may have missed a vaccine schedule here and there. They had a breakthrough infection called COVID, and next thing you know, it's going from there. Then they die. It's in the elderly group. Breakthroughs and misscheduled vaccine efforts. What he's trying to say is, if 100 people died today, 60 of them are vaccinated. 60% of the deaths are in the vaccinated group, which is higher than the people that are unvaccinated. Never taking into account the age of those 60 people that actually died and what led to their conditions and the timely of their death. He's using percentages against that. Well, guess what? If we go back, right, because he said that they were right. That's what he said. If they were right, as he said, they were right. I didn't say this. There was 647,055,806 vaccine doses administered. Let's break that down a little bit more. Let's go be a little bit more specific here, and let's see if we can get it. So here's the vaccine tracker data. What nation progress on the vaccination? At least 262,908,216 people. 79% of the population have received at least one dose. At least one dose. Overall, 224,113,439 people, or 68% of our population, is fully vaccinated. 68% of the United States population is fully vaccinated. There's 32% that are not fully vaccinated. So there's, let's do it this way. 79% of our population has received at least one dose of the vaccine. At least one. That's almost 80% of our population. If there's 300 million people, we're at 80% vaccination rate. Is unvaccinated people not dying? Yeah, they dying. But because the more efforts that you take at vaccinating people, the less likely you have the spread of COVID going around. But you're like, but damn, Sean, there's new variants every day. Absolutely, because we don't have enough people vaccinated to prevent the damn virus from mutating. This goes back to 2-year-old science that we talked about on this channel and others. This makes absolutely no sense why we're doing this. Oh yeah, and they supposedly made a different batch for black people. So let's continue a little bit more and let's get into his ignorance. I only wanted to get up to this particular point because I only wanted to deal with it because I can't do 3 hours.
The exact things that it would do: blood clots, miscarriages, myocarditis, heart swelling.
Oh, so he's naming symptoms. Guess what? The vaccine ain't doing none of that. See, this is why it's important for him to have my book, because in my book, I actually dealt with that. And once again, here we go real quick. I'm just going to shoot you in the foot real quick with some updated information. False. Reporting of miscarriages following COVID-19 vaccination has not increased compared to background rates based on studies. What was the claim? COVID-19 vaccinations does not increase risk of miscarriage. Doesn't increase. Doesn't. Over 4,000 women have now lost their baby due to COVID vaccines in the U.S. This is a 16,633% increase. They beat it up. The whole claim was false. The report on miscarriages following COVID vaccination has not increased. It has not. What else he said? Does COVID vaccines cause blood clots? In rare cases, 2 to 20 per million antibodies that the body produces as a side effect of the vaccine lead to uncontrolled activation of platelets. This causes both low platelet counts and blood clots. That's from Healthcare Utah. So how many? 2 to 20 per million. So if you vaccinate 1 million people, you're going to have at least 2 to 20 people out of a million. These are things that we've already talked about. That's not, it doesn't say 1,000 people, doesn't say 10,000 people, it doesn't say 100,000 people. 2 to 20 out of 1 million. So 99.998% of the people that are vaccinated don't have these problems. So you're talking about 0.002%, 0002. It's like 6 zeros behind that. Catch him, walk him down, him again. Let's see what he say.
Injected over 5 billion human beings on the planet. The majority of human beings on the planet, according to their numbers, they have been subjected to, lied to about, coerced, convinced, forced, you name it, to take a poisonous concoction that they knew nothing about, and they knew nothing about the long-term effects, didn't tell you a damn thing about what happens down the line because they didn't know. When I say they, I'm talking about mainly those that push it, but the ones at the very top knew exactly what it would do, because it is doing the very thing that we were revealing 2 years ago. The exact things that it would do: blood clots, miscarriages, myocarditis, heart.
Myocarditis. I don't know why he brought anything up behind that, because myocarditis is based on that. Now, watch this. We've already did this. Listen, man. We've already did this on this channel. And myocarditis is more prevalent in teenage kids and men. It's not prevalent in women. These are rare cases. The science is out on that. Why are you still spewing this? This is old science. These are rare cases. They have occurred most frequently in adolescent young adult males ages 16 and older within 7 days after receiving the second dose. We know this. They're rare cases. So much so that they did the damn studies and we got the data back. Come on, man. We standing on science, not stupidity. Watch. Just listen to what he's saying.
Heart swelling, encephalopathy, brain swelling.
Brain swelling. The vaccine causes brain swelling? Brain swelling? Brain swelling. Are you shitting me right now? Oh my God. In rare cases, right? Here we go. In rare cases, coronavirus vaccines may cause long COVID-like symptoms. But he didn't say that. He said brain swelling. A neurologist, rhomboencephalitis after community vaccine. Here we go. Rare cases. We're going to holler at a neuroscience right here. Neuroscience on this, and we ain't got to read the whole thing. Here's an abstract. All right. Rhomboencephalitis is an orphan disease of multiple causes that may manifest with facial palsy, limp, ataxia, and reduced consciousness. Up to now, it has been described as COVID-19 infection. What? Not a vaccination. It says up to now, it's described after what? After what? COVID-19 infection. Not after a vaccination, but let's continue. Hold on now. Infection, and in this personal case, was found up to 8 weeks after the vaccination. So far, we do not fully understand the pathophysiological characteristics of encephalitis associated with SARS-CoV-2. In rare cases, vaccination may cause, doesn't say it causes, it says it may cause an immunological reaction and delayed inflammation, the consequences of which we have not yet deciphered. Rhomboencephalitis should be considered as a rare potential of mRNA-associated vaccination side effect. Cap. Call cap on your boy.
Random sudden death. Now they're calling it
random sudden death. So the vaccine causes random sudden death. Now let's do it. Huh? We ain't gonna find nothing to say that. Genetic basis of sudden death after COVID-19 vaccination. Let's deal. Let's go. Oh, hold up. Hold up. I ain't even gotta do all that. I ain't gotta do all that. Hold up. I got one better. I got two better. But I'm gonna go right here. Full fit. I could go to health feedback. No evidence for a rise in sudden deaths or that COVID-19 vaccines are called. All right, so the quick read is this. What was the claim? If you connect the dots, vaccines are causing unexplained sudden deaths. Our verdict, there's no evidence that COVID-19 vaccines are responsible for raising unexplained or sudden deaths. SADS deaths did not increase in England and Wales in 2021. So there's a Facebook post that says so. And then there was a similar claim right over there. Now you can read this and get more information because it's there. Now, let me go back. That ain't even half because we can go right here. They give you the same study, but this is a little more specific because they're going to give you the source right here. These people, look, watch this. I love the health feedback because the health feedback is going to take you to where it didn't take me correctly there, but it shows you all the specifics. Now, look what it says. It has a short claim. And then it has the full details, ladies and gentlemen. And it gets specific right here. They always get specific. I use this as a source. And then look at that. They got sources. They gonna bag the science up. Yep, you saw it. They gonna bag the science up. So they just didn't quick hit you. They bag it up with the sources. Right? Misleading. Many of the people that film imply, look, it's just going from there. So they dealing with another film that's implying certain stuff. Let's go on and let's hear him again. Knocking him out.
Sudden adult death syndrome. What the hell is that?
What the hell is that?
Sudden adult death syndrome. Brother, this is why Fauci was just in court a week and a half ago. This is what y'all need to know. It was quiet. They did not put on the mainstream media, with the exception of, I believe, Fox that put it out, that Fauci and the former White House press secretary, Jen Psaki, were in court because they were collaborating with social media companies to silence, censor, and ban specific voices of people calling out the poison, calling out the adverse.
So Fauci and Jen Psaki were in court. Trying to silence people. Here we go. Judge orders Fauci, Psaki disposed in social media censorship lawsuit. All right. Federal judges order Fauci and former White House Press Secretary Psaki to be disposed for a lawsuit that claims top officials in the Biden administration colluded with social media companies to censor debate about the COVID pandemic. The Post exposes on the Hunter Biden laptop. Fauci, Psaki, and other administrative officials, including Surgeon General, must testify about the communications with tech companies as part of a lawsuit brought in May by Republican attorneys. The Attorney General sought the testimony of Fauci, chief advising, yada, 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 and going from there. Plaintiffs urged his comments on these important issues are relevant to the matter of the hand and further reasons why Fauci should be disposed. And then it goes on. So you have an argument going over this, and this is the Republican body that's actually going after it, and you can deal with all of it. Now, I'm just keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't care nothing about no censorship. That don't mean nothing to me because y'all always find a way to put some shit out. But what he basically just tried to do is everything that he named to blame the vaccine for, the virus causes 30 times more. I'm gonna say it again. Everything that he tried to blame the vaccine does, natural infection does it 30 times more. What am I saying? It's actually more than 30 times. You are more likely to have myocarditis, brain fog, all of those symptoms without being ever vaccinated. You can get COVID, never get a vaccine, get COVID again, never get a vaccine, get COVID again, never get a vaccine, get COVID again, never get a vaccine. Now, the counter argument is this. You can get a vaccine and then you can get COVID. But what's the difference? The vaccine protects against hospitalizations and deaths. Natural infection doesn't shore up any of that because your protection wans and fades more. The initial onset vaccination has more durability in it and has more longevity in it. That's why they're saying we ain't got to boost our way out of it. We just have to, maybe do it randomly, maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years, but we need to figure that out. And that's what science is set out to do. However, when you have people claiming that the vaccine is doing all of these things, and then we walk it down and we see that he's lying real quick. We just went over 8 of his claims about the vaccination, and we plucked every last one of them. Boom, 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 boom. Now he's moved from the vaccine causing all of these things. Remember, sudden death. We just killed that one. He moved away from all of that and went right back to Fauci and Psaki. So when I go back to the book, the pseudoism book right here, that's what skeptics do. They employ their pseudoisms into confusion. And now he's arguing different points because he just moved the goalpost. He said the vaccine does all of these things, but we just found out that being naturally infected with COVID does all of these things. So what does the data say? The data says that he is a nut.
Events and reactions, calling out the lack of data, calling out the lack of safety trials, calling out the
safety trials, ladies and gentlemen. By the end of 2020, listen, phase 3 trial started in November, December of 2020. Phase 3, March of 2020, pre-trials and animal trial testings were done. Phase 1 came behind that. Phase 2 ran simultaneously with phase 1. Phase 1 and 2 data came out and they moved to phase 3 based on safety. Remember, they cut up the mice. They looked inside the mice. They tried to see if the vaccine was doing something to the interiors of all the animals that they were vaccinated, found nothing. So they moved. They moved. We get the phase 3 trial. We get all of their data back. Then we move on and we start vaccinating everybody else. Vaccine efforts moved swiftly. They ran concurrent testings. What he's talking about, he doesn't know anything about because he don't read. I hate going back to the book that I wrote, but just referring back to the book, what SARS-CoV-2 taught me is an illustration of how you can correct a pseudo like this dude very quickly because he has not changed his approach or his game plan. It's the same tactics. All the things that he's accusing the vaccine of, natural infection does. The thing about a vaccine protection is you have a level of protection against the natural infection. The natural infection is like playing Russian roulette, depending on the variant. Because if you get a hold of the wrong variant, it could get crazy on you naturally. But let him continue, and then I'm a wrap.
Lack of data as it pertains to long-term effects that no one was given. So you're supposed to be given that as it pertains to informed consent.
He said that no one was given the data. When the trials rolled out, how the hell did I get access to the data? COVID-19 information has been open access since 2020. And I'm talking January, February, March. Right after they have March is when they began to announce that we're in a global pandemic. Hold on, let me rewind myself back. My mind, I forget what year this is. We're in 2022. It's about to be 2023. They've been working with this vaccine for 3 years, ladies and gentlemen. About to be. 2019, we get information. We go into March, they announce it. They create a plan to start a vaccine. By the end of 2020, we were ready to vaccinate everybody else because they had been working toward a solution. Remember, when the virus first hit, the beauty of science is that they were able to get the D64G, D641G, which is the original variant. They were able to code it genetically, get that sent around, yada, yada, yada. Everybody knows. But he's stuck. Watch. Let's hear a little bit more.
And no doctors nor medical professionals were doing what they are supposed to do under the Hippocratic Oath, which is to promise and honor to do your patient no harm and give them informed consent, which is the information about all the negative effects, positive effects. And if you don't want to choose that option, you have other options to choose from, naturopathic remedies or.
Okay, so first of all, when they did trial testing, they tested naturopathy and came up with nothing. Nothing. You remember all them people talking about what was that one thing? Hydroxychloroquine? That failed so many times. People, the animal drug, it failed, ladies and gentlemen. Vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, failed, ladies and gentlemen. I provided you information. I provided you with the information that would allow you to understand that it failed. Ivermectin failed.
Or solutions, you have the homeopathic solutions and remedies, etc. So all of this, they went to court because they were working with Twitter, Fauci's dog.
You see how he changed it up? He went from blaming Fauci and Psaki to something to then talking about hospitals and doctors and what they're supposed to tell you, and then all the way back to Fauci again. So let me tell you a little bit. Everybody that got vaccinated during the middle of the freaking pandemic all got a fact sheet, all got some paperwork after their vaccination. Everybody. They handed you paperwork earlier on in the pandemic. It was a little small pamphlet. They also told you to register on the government website to report any side effects. Any. No one did that. I did it. I was getting the notifications. So he knows nothing about what the government was doing to educate people or none of that. It's like all of this shit that we learned about, he don't know it existed. He don't.
Daughter currently works for Twitter, so we can understand how real this is. He was using his influence and connection to violate the First Amendment, to target people who were exposing the things that are now coming out in the mainstream media.
This dude is a part of the Dirty Dozen. So he feels some type of way about Fauci because he was silenced on Twitter and all of that stuff. He got kicked off Facebook. He got kicked off Instagram. And then they slowly let him back in because he does shit like this. This is why he's calling everything else outside of what it is, because he's not trying to get dinged for it. This is the same ignorance that we've been dealing with for years. Now we're back to, mind you, hold on, mind you, I don't know how many people were viewing it on Facebook, right? I don't know, but it's a lot of people in this particular chat. Look at the likes, 357 likes, and there probably was more people than the 357 that was watching it on YouTube. So this is more of the stupid shit from these people.
Which is the shots are going to cause more deaths?
He said the shots are going to cause more deaths. So let's see this. He's not going to win this argument. Do y'all really want to deal with this? I don't care who you are. Do you really want to deal with this? So here's a study published in the Lancet. Global impact of the first year of COVID-19 vaccination, a mathematical modeling study. I don't know how many people know that this study exists, but it comes from September 1st, 2022. And it provides all of the stuff that you need. It's a complete study. Based on our model fit to official report of COVID-19 deaths, we estimated that 18.1 million, 95% credible interval deaths due to COVID-19 would have occurred without vaccinations worldwide during the first year of the COVID-19 vaccine program. Of these, we estimated that vaccination prevented 14.4 million deaths due to COVID-19, representing a global reduction of 79% of deaths during the first year of the COVID-19 vaccination. These estimates of vaccine impact do not account for the potential underestimation of deaths related to COVID. And then they give you all the data. All right, so to make this easier for people, right, because I did this live, and I ain't do nothing crazy. I did this live. There go your source. Now, I'm going to sweeten the pot. Because I'm a real G. You know what I'm saying? I'm a researcher. You know what I mean? I'm a science enthusiast. You know what I mean? I just don't lean on the experts. I know how to look at the data and come to an honest conclusion based on the results. I'm going to take it a step further. We can go over here. By the way, that Lancet article is real dope if you do the PDF version. It's real dope. Now, long-term protection associated with COVID-19 vaccines and prior infection. Get into this. If you really want to argue about something, get into this. Read this. I ain't going to read it for you. All this stuff is in my phone. I mean, this is something that we shouldn't even be dealing with right now, but we're having to deal with it because of stupid people. Having SARS-CoV once confers much greater immunity. That's back 2021. Look at that. Natural immunity versus vaccines. Y'all remember this? Prior COVID infection more protective than vaccination during what? We saw all of this, but then we start getting better information. Better information. The data is clear. Natural immunity is not better. The COVID-19 vaccine create more effective and long-lasting immunity than natural immunity for. I ain't got to say no more. I ain't got to say no more. That's all I got to say to you real quick. We didn't gave this source up before. I know I have. I did a whole show on this natural immunity shit. Natural immunity fades faster than the vaccine. Natural immunity alone is less than half as effective than natural immunity plus vaccination. The best protection is vaccination, and if you've had an infection, it's better. Remember the Israel study where people were naturally infected and got vaccinated and had better protection than people who just been vaccinated. People who've never been vaccinated just continue to keep on getting COVID. I know people that had COVID 4 times now because they refuse to go get vaccinated and they keep on damaging their body. They develop long-term problems and then they want to ask me for help. It's too late, mofo. I told you what to do. And I ain't no doctor. I'm not finna help you.
Than the actual virus itself, which is that the long-term effects are going to be horrific, which is that the things that people are taking.
The long-term effects are going to be horrific. So anybody that got vaccinated, have any of y'all had long-term effects and have you had a horrific experience in your bout? Could you please stand up?
Are going to spike their body into becoming mutated virus-producing factories.
Mutated, bro. This nigga just said, he just said that we are going to be spiked protein vaccinated carrier. Hold on. Say that slick shit again, bro. That was fire. Shit.
Because they were collaborating with social back from it. And that's the true reality, which is why we have been pushing. Even though I know some of y'all were attacked, people laughed at y'all, they called us, said, wow. So over 5 virus itself, which is that the long-term effects are going to be horrific, which is that the things that people are taking are going to spike their body into becoming mutated virus-producing factories.
So our bodies are now mutated virus-producing factories. This Negro just said that our bodies are virus-producing factory, bruh. I can't do it no more. I'm sorry. That was it right there. I'm finna post that on Facebook, bruh. Bruh. This nigga Rizza Islam said. This nigga Rizza Islam. He said our bodies are now mutated, mutated virus factories. I can't play no more of the video. I'm sorry, y'all. They probably gonna strike this video. Because the algorithms and stuff like that, they're probably going to strike the video. I ain't even gonna hold you. So let's go to the World Health Organization, which is what they use. Need to put them up World Health and COVID. I gotta say their name 1,000 times. World Health and COVID. All right, so look, if they shut this down, man, just listen. It'll just be down for a little while. I don't plan on doing many more stuff, videos anyway. I can't keep doing this with Rizza Islam. The book is out. Everybody knows that the book is out. The book itself will educate people and refute a lot of the noise that this dude says. That's just an hour into the show that he did. It's much more than that goes on. There's a whole nother hour of ignorance that he has. And remember, the show was called The Original Man. It's called The Original Man. This dude plays on the emotion of people so bad, bro. It's crazy. I can't do no more. So I appreciate the sister actually for, sending me this video and, us kind of combing through it and hearing all the bullshit that he was saying from evolution, which he was wrong. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no original man, and he damn sure didn't come from no damn Asia. And the